Good evening and welcome to the Township of Bedminster. This is our regularly scheduled Township Committee meeting for July 18th. It is 7:01. I'll recognize that we have a quorum of Township Committee in attendance tonight. With me here tonight are Committeeman Doug Stevenson. Where's your hand? Yeah. Committeeman Colin Hickey. Committeewoman Renee Moreski, and attending remotely, and we hope she's doing well. Doing thumbs up is Committeewoman Gina Fernandez. Gina is attending remote and just a little knee procedure, but she gave us the thumbs up, and like a trooper, she's here tonight. So thanks for coming out, Gina. Ms. Ray, may we please have the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Yes, Mayor. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Committee was sent to the Courier News Somerville, Furnace News Whippany, and to all subscribers and posted at the Township Municipal Building on January 6, 2022.
Great, thank you. Please join me standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I do not have the most recent COVID numbers, so we will skip that and we'll go straight to public comment. Okay, Perry has no comments. Kevin, you are one non-township committee participant.
No comment.
No comment. All right. So give it a few seconds to see if there's any covers.
I'm not seeing any others, Mayor.
Okay, let's proceed. We have 2 minutes to approve the July 5th, 2022 Township Committee regular session meeting. The July 5th, 2022 executive closed session. Any comments or questions regarding the minutes have not otherwise already been provided to Ms. Ray? Seeing none, make a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, we've permits, raffles, we go all the way through H. So let's go through A through G. So first is Social Fair Permits Benefit Center for Great Expectations on July 19th, 2022 from 12:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at Fiddler's Level Country Club, 811 Rattlesnake Bridge Road, Bedminster. Next, Social Fair Permits benefit Fiddler's Elbow Country Club. Fiddler's Elbow needs a benefit. Okay, on September 10, 2022 from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Fiddler's Elbow Country Club, 811 Rattlesnake Bridge Road. Next is the Social Fair Permits benefit St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center on September 12, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Hamilton Farm Golf Club, 1040 Pottersville Road, Bedminster. Next is the Social Fair Permit to benefit the Brooke Healy Foundation on September 19, 2022 from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Fiddler's Elbow Country Club, 811 Rattlesnake Bridge Road. Next, Social Fair Permit to benefit Trinitas Foundation on September 28, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Fiddler's Elbow Country Club, 811 Rattlesnake Bridge Road. Then a Social Fair Permit to benefit Far Hills Country Day School on October 24, 2022 from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Hamilton Farm Golf Club, 1040 Pottersville Road. And then a on-premise 50/50 raffle to benefit St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center on September 12, 2022 at the Hamilton Farm Golf Club, 1040 Pottersville Road. Any comments or questions regarding A through G? Seeing none, we'll take a motion to approve those permits and one raffle.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, H is amending a social fair permit that we already issued, 2022-09. and this is the ABC file 507849 for Mansion Caterers trading as Frangilo Caterers on July 29 through July 31, 2022 for the Live Golf Inc. Professional Golf Tournament at Trump National Golf Club, 900 Lamington Road, Bedminster. The permittee is asking to extend the social fare permit that we previously issued from 9 p.m. And the request for the amendment is to go to 10 p.m. And that's for one day on Sunday, last day of the tournament, July 31st, 2022. Before we get to that, I did ask our township engineer, Paul Ferrero, who's been intimately involved with the permitting process and the goings on associated with the Live Golf, the tournament, from construction, traffic patterns, and really just probably is in a much better position to report on the tournament, what's being proposed. And so before we consider that social fare permit, I just want to get us all with an update from Paul. So Paul.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The number of permits have been submitted for the event. They need permits for the standby generators that are out there. And I think there's over 56 generators that they need, and they all need to be properly grounded. So the permits are required for all of those. Those permits have been approved. They're being inspected tomorrow by the electrical inspector. Another series of permits have been submitted for the pavilions, the large tents, the scaffolding, the TV towers. Those permits were submitted last week. They are under review. They're going to be looked at in the field tomorrow to see if the applications are actually complete or not. Because if there's electrical permits required, then there's some additional information that will have to be submitted. I was out on the site yesterday. They're moving along. As you would expect, there's a lot of action going on the site. It's very busy. I met with the representatives of Live Golf and Par 5 group of the consultants setting the operation up. And I briefed them once again on what the tight timeframes are. The construction official works Tuesday and Thursday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. He's going to be out there to see what additional permits might be required. He would have Thursday to review them, and then next Tuesday to inspect them when they're complete, because they need occupancy by next Wednesday to be able to stock the merchandise pavilions. So that's the tight time frame that they're on. They're fully aware of it. They've been told multiple times. So they're aware of that. That's where it's moving to.
So the permits that have been approved are for the generators.
Correct.
All the other permits are pending.
And they're going to look at them tomorrow to see if they need more than what's been submitted.
So that's on the permits, but also the parking and traffic plans.
The parking and traffic plan, they submitted some information on that. I reviewed the first version of that. I've given them some feedback. We're looking at some of the items on that, and I expect to have some more back and forth with them this week before that gets finalized.
And one of the things that Paul didn't mention is we did have a meeting with them back on July 7th. And at that time, they were advised first by Paul as the township engineer and head of the construction office, and then repeated by me as mayor. You only had a couple of weeks, right? You know, a few short months from when they first came to us and announced bringing the tournament here. Presumably the team that they brought in was familiar with the process of running a tournament in Bedminster, since some of them were veterans of the U.S. Women's Open from back in 2017. The submissions were not timely. And they were advised that if the permits have not been issued or will not be issued by the start of the tournament. And the appropriate inspections that all the structures that Paul mentioned, and that goes from the tents, or certainly the large tents that trigger the permit threshold, the TV towers, the stands, would not be able to be used, occupied, or operated. Lots of heads nodding around the table. We started the meeting with that discussion and we ended the meeting with that discussion, and Paul has been vigilant throughout the entire process. So not only were they apprised of what they needed, what permits they needed, but they were also apprised of all the details of what goes into that permit. Some permits require plans, some permits require plans that are signed and sealed by professionals or by licensed contractors. Told how many copies of those documents to present. They were also told of our time, and we're a small town. We've got a construction official who's here, not 5 days a week, but to work your way into approvals in time, you need to have your stuff in.
Right.
It needs to be complete, it needs to be adequate, and there can't be questions, right? Because there's just not enough time to have the follow-up. So Paul was out there, I mean, Paul's been out there a lot. So the message has been delivered.
And Mayor, this should come as no surprise because I recall specifically when they came here in the middle of May, it was May 16th, and John Dolan presented. That was one of the first questions you asked specifically. You said, I was under the impression there was a much bigger lead time last time for construction. Do we have enough time to review and approve? And we got a lot of head nods, right? Yes, we've done this before, 2017. We're in a good place. We're right where we want to be. So there should be no surprise now that we've requested this repeatedly. They knew what they had to do, and like you said, now we're 2 weeks, or less before
Yeah,
the
we're
event.
less than 2 weeks away.
Only a week from Friday, the event is supposed to start.
And that also, so it's the fire inspector, it's our health inspector from the county who was at the meeting. Steve Dill, our fire inspector. So there's also some issues that he certainly needs to address. Some of the occupancy requirements associated with some of these structures need to be reviewed and approved. So there's a lot going on. This immediate request that's before us now, amending the social affair permit. Robin, let's go to the details of what's associated with this social affair permit and what's triggering this request for the amendment to go from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Sure. So they've actually added a concert. Concert was on again, off again. That's in the fan village area of the event. It's for the last day of the tournament, kind of a celebration at the end from 7 to 10 p.m. And the request now is, since the concert is on, to extend the alcohol permit, social fair permit, I should say, to 10 p.m.
So
as
right,
opposed to 9.
so right
If I can
now,
just add to that, for what it's worth,
Sure.
they told me yesterday the concert would end at 9. That's what I was told.
Okay. So you, as our township engineer, was told yesterday, concert would end at 9.
Yes.
Even when we met with them on July 7th, they talked about maybe coming back to amend the social affair permit. And even then, we said, you guys got to be careful. Do you really want this or not? If you're going to proceed with the concert, that's one trigger point for you guys. And do you really need to extend the alcohol sales from 9 to 10? Well, we're not sure. We're not sure. Maybe we'll withdraw it. Maybe we won't. We have to see how things bear out. So the concert raises a couple issues. Certainly from the perspective of noise control. So once again, my recollection, and Attorney Bellardo will jump in because he's a bit of a noise expert. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere, but leave that to your own imagination. Right, so it's the noise limits at the property line.
They've been advised what the noise standards are in the special events ordinance. They're very clear. I sent that to them. They advised me that they would have meters out there monitoring the sound.
Which is fine until after they go over it and then it's too late.
But the fact of the matter is, then they get fined. Like, we don't have the equipment to go out there and monitor it. So they're gonna be monitoring it. And when someone complains, because they will, because you can hear this, even if it doesn't go over the standard, then we will say, show us your results that it didn't go over.
And where just exactly, you've given us a copy of their plan. Where is the concert located and where are the,
Okay, it's in the Fan Village, and that is, if you look on the relocated Cotton Spring Road, you'll see later this is Fan Fest. and
Yes.
Birdie Shack,
right,
that is the area. And the stage is a tractor trailer
okay.
that folds out and up, that creates the stage and the lights.
No, similar to what we've done at Fall Fest.
And that structure
Yep.
itself does not require permits.
Okay,
Bigger.
bigger than that.
It's a full 18-wheeler size truck.
Okay, so it's bigger than what we've done at Fall Fest.
Same concept, just larger.
Okay, and where are the speakers going to be angled
They tell me they're going to be facing the northwest.
northwest?
West, so.
Oh, that way.
So back over Cowperwood Way.
Yes.
Okay. You've been told the concert will end at 9.
That's what I was told.
The request before us to is extend alcohol sales to 10.
And just for the record, this is the first time this body's hearing about the concert, because I remember in May, Committeewoman Moreski specifically asked, are there going to be any sound issues? And there was a joke about, oh, it's a golf tournament. Of course, there's not going to be any sound, right? And then it was, look, we're going to have a closing reception on the 18th hole at the conclusion of the event. It's going to be brief. It's 15 to 20 minutes, and that's it. So this is all new.
But when we met on July 7th, they said, as of July 7th, the concert was off. It was on again last week, maybe. I was told yesterday that they're pretty certain it's going to be on, they just don't know who it's going to be. Give me a hint. 50-50 chance anybody in this room heard it.
Have
How
something-
old do you think?
I was just going to say, does it have something to do with age?
No, taste.
So unless there's any questions or comments regarding the social fair permit, or while we have Paul before we release him, any further questions for Paul regarding the activities, the cooperation that you're getting from Liv, whether you're satisfied?
Well,
So let me ask that. Let me start off. Are you satisfied, Paul?
The response has been less than. They have a lot of pressures, the guys who are trying to put this thing together, but they're just not reacting very well. I will tell you that yesterday there were representatives of the club at the meeting as well, and they were a little more agitated. It seemed like they would be motivating this event planning company a little more.
So to be clear, Live Golf is not Trump. The tournament is being hosted at the club,
Mhm.
but the applicant is Live Golf.
And the general manager of the club was there yesterday, and he told me, he said he would be in contact with me and we'd be working back and forth to continue to facilitate.
Do we know anything about the results of the London tournament? How that worked out for that venue?
My understanding there was the concert was a big deal. A lot of people hung around for a long time. My understanding on Portland was there wasn't so much hanging around. One of the complications of this event, if you're familiar with the way they work, is they're a shotgun start. So that means all the spectators get there at the same time and leave at the same time. The traffic can be particularly intense at the beginning and the end of each round. So that's something that needs to be planned for, and I think they have some reasonable plans, but. you know,
And does that go all the way through? So even on the last day of the
on the
tournament,
last day, it's a shotgun
it's still so it's a shotgun. So everything starts
and ends.
and ends. Interesting. Okay.
So, and the reason why they were on again, off again with the concert was because of the lack of attendance in Portland. But again, now they're talking about doing it.
And
One of
if
the reasons why I think they've been a little bit lackadaisical about permits is because they said they didn't need any permits for anything in Portland.
But we told them, they needed them.
But this is New
So-
Jersey, you need permits.
This and be a surprise.
And from a noise ordinance standpoint, can this even be permitted past a certain time period?
Well, there's two different pieces of the noise ordinance, and I will defer to John as to how they operate. But there's the general noise ordinance, which is the state standard, which has maximum thresholds at residential property lines at certain hours that switches over at 10 o'clock to the lower levels. But the special events ordinance is actually different. It says that you can't exceed 7 decibels over the ambient noise level, which is going to be likely lower than the DEP standard. But the DEP standard, you were hearing my voice at about what would be at your property line.
Right.
So people will hear this,
Right.
and it may not exceed the threshold.
And what's the reason for asking for an extension till 10 o'clock if now the concert's going to end at 9 o'clock?
They told me the concert was ending at 9 o'clock yesterday, and they made this application before yesterday. So I can't explain it.
Originally, we were told 10 o'clock, 7 to 10,
Originally, the concert was 7 to 10,
correct? When it was on.
which it may or may not be.
But that extra hour gives people time to hang around and talk to people and
drink.
drink.
But I'm,
And that's what the
Buy-
social, and
buy
that's what
stuff at the
and that's what the
event.
extension is.
Yeah.
The extension is for alcohol sales. So really, the only thing before us, the construction office has a number of permits to run through. What's before us is extending alcohol sales from 9 o'clock on Sunday to 10 o'clock. on Sunday.
and I'm also thinking about, go to other events like a baseball game. They cut off concessions at, 7th inning, right? It doesn't go to the end because they want people, to be sobered up and reasonably in good shape to drive off at the end of the event, not to hang out. Just saying.
Okay, so let's take a motion on whether to approve the request to amend social affair permit 2022-09, ABC file number 507-849. We previously authorized the social affair permit to 9 PM. The request is to extend it to 10 PM. Robin, you want to do a roll call?
Sure, Mr. Stevenson,
No.
Mr. Hickey,
Nay.
Ms. Moreski,
Nope.
Ms. Fernandez,
I'm a yes. Yes, yay.
Mayor Jacobs.
No. Okay, any further questions for Paul? Well, we got
What do you think our music taste is, Paul?
I would not expect it to be chain smokers.
I know who they are.
I've heard of it. All right, thank you for coming tonight, Paul.
Thank you,
All
Paul.
right, good night, everybody.
Thank you, Paul.
And we'll go to monthly report discussion by subcommittee chair. We will start with Committeeman Stevenson.
No formal reports tonight. I do understand fairly recently today that there's been a complaint about hike and bike paths, so I will get with Kevin. Kevin, I'll reach out for you, we'll coordinate that, but I want to get some info on hike and bike and how we can spruce that up, because there's some areas that are unpassable, so we'll get on that.
Excellent. Committeeman Hickey.
Thank you, Mayor. The Board of Health meeting for this Thursday has been canceled as there are no applicants, and I assume you will cover library and land use. And that's all I have.
Committeewoman Moreski.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental Commission meeting on July 6th had some things going on. The annual Bat Night that we all look forward to is going to be held this year August 19th at 7:30 River Road Park. This year it will be Leah Wells from Conserve Wildlife Foundation who's giving the presentation, as well as again bringing the acoustic detector so the attendees can hear the bats that hopefully will be flying overhead. Let's see, September 7th meeting of Environmental Commission, we'll have Chris Borak from the Black Lagoon talking about the results of the 2-year pond treatment program. Residents are invited to come and attend, ask some questions, hopefully share some good observations of how the pond is doing. And then EC will evaluate the program and see if we should go through, change it, kill it, whatever they might come up with Chris. April 22nd, 2023 is Earth Day. The Environmental Commission will work with the Rec Committee to plan for an Earth Day event. They're talking about having things such as Testo's Pizza, Burnt Mill Cidery, Neshannock Station, the ladies can bring the bees. Pollinators, have somebody come and show how pollinator garden works. And maybe invite Kathleen Palmer to talk about her butterflies. So as we go along and we get more information, we'll let everybody know, but that's Earth Day next year.
Right.
Let's see, and a little review of the safety committee that I just started to attend. So we actually have Kevin Murray already here, who's our safety coordinator. He heads this committee, which is made up of, if you guys know this, pardon me while I blather on, police department, the Bedminster Police Department, our Far Hills Bedminster Fire Department, Pottersville Fire Department, Bedminster BPW, and the Bedminster Department of Recreation. These guys meet on a quarterly basis to discuss safety issues. DPW reported on things such as the brush cleanup on Southfield Drive, bridge repair on the Burt Mills Trail, and the roadway mowing of Black River Road. The departments in general report in on training classes that they've attended, such as the confined space class attended by Far Hills Bedminster Fire Department, or the new air pack review class attended by Pottersville Fire Department. At one of the meetings, Chief Grundig suggested looking into consolidating training courses where feasible as a cost and time-saving move. Kevin encouraged all departments to keep current with the AED and CPR certifications. And Robin Ray had noted to us that in previous years, the first aid squad had provided the departments with that training. As we go through, we'll have some more information, but that's generally what they talk about. Robin, if you have anything to chime in with.
That's perfect.
Okay, excellent. And that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you.
Great. Gina, how you feeling? You ready to give a subcommittee report?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mayor. So just not really too many updates for the rec department. Camp is in its third week, third week, and everything's running smoothly. I just had a quick update about the stigma-free initiative. Sherry Kalish helped Robin and I create a proposal for the Somerset County Youth Council for grant funding in the amount of $2,500. And we're waiting to hear back from that for promotional materials, get the word out, spread the word, and also link to other community agencies such as the schools and be able to kind of create more awareness and promote more awareness about the Stigma-Free Initiative with our local community. We were at attendance at the farmers market. We had a Board of Health members attend the stigma-free table and hand out our community resource guide at the farmers market this Saturday. That's our July date. And then August, Communities in Crisis will be at the farmers market on August, first Saturday in August. I think it's August 6th. And then for September, Family and Community Services will be at the farmers market September 24th at the Stigma-Free tent. So we're just kind of raising awareness of local resources and really just spreading the word. So I just wanted to update everybody on that. And that's all I have for you.
Great, thank you. So Committeeman Hickey said I'm going to take library. So there's library board meeting this week. You will see the latest iteration of the of the website. That's not yet been released, but hopefully will be shortly. Land use, there's a land use board meeting on August 4th, where we will continue the discussion. Excuse me. Discussions on rezoning the AT&T campus. Once again, that's following the recommendations from the planning study and report that we worked on in conjunction with Somerset County Department of Planning. So continue that discussion. At the last land use board meeting, the planning board did make recommendations back to the township committee to pursue plan endorsement, which I don't believe we have on for tonight, but that'll be on, probably get to that process in August. And we may ask Frank Banish, our town planner, to appear and just give a summary of the plan endorsement process back to the township committee. And let's see, that's land use board. Farmers market attendance continues to be great. Colin, what was our numbers this week?
So the funny thing is, Neil, about an hour before, put a prediction in, and guess within one person, 927.
Whoa.
So next time there's a jar of M&Ms, just bring Neil along.
So that was great. It was just a, it was another great day. Glad to see everyone coming out, and many people have said, and they've used this similar phrase, this has become Bedminster's Main Street. Maybe just a Main Street once a week, but you go there and you know you're going to see people and you're going to have the opportunity to talk. So it was just a very nice comment. Tomorrow, Committeeman Hickey and I have a meeting with the Agricultural Advisory Committee, and we'll report back on that, on where we stand with certain projects, and not necessarily on subcommittee, but at our first meeting in August, I hope to be able to report, although it may be public at that time, on some grants that we may be receiving from Somerset County. I believe the commissioners are meeting this week. I believe it's this week. And we may be the subject of two separate grants. So I don't want to say anything before it's official. So I did receive phone calls. Just leave it at that. Okay. Ms. Ray, can we please have the administrator's report?
Sure. We were still waiting for, as of last Friday, the state certification of our tax rate. On Friday, we did receive the certified tax rate from the county. More than likely, we will be extending the grace period for August to the August tax payments through August 31st. Right now, we have an alert on our website. When we get the other certification, we are firm on that August 31st extension. We'll post that out via Rave on the website and other communications platforms.
Now, does that require either executive order or direction from Trenton on when these tax bills can be paid?
There's timeframes. There's timeframes that you have in which to extend your grace period and when you can mail them out by. So Adriana is all over it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
She's done a great job. With personnel, just a couple, we continue to conduct screenings and preliminary interviews for the position of construction official. This week, July 20th and the 22nd, which is Wednesday and Friday, we're conducting interviews for the vacant violations clerk position. We've narrowed it down to a couple candidates. So moving forward there. Kevin is here for DPW. I'll just run over a couple of things. Kevin, feel free to jump in. But I will tell you that just number one, we have on Monday, July 25th from 7 to 9, the Hunterdon County Engineers Office will hold a public information center to discuss the proposed replacement of the county bridge, which is located on Pottersville Road. That's County Route 512 in Hunterdon County. That will be held at the Pottersville Volunteer Fire Company on Hacklebarney Road. We'll send that out via Rave. Also, with regard to the parks, our DPW has been super busy sprucing up the parks Committeeman Stevenson, I know you have heard an earful. Burnt Mills Park and Playground were spruced up with some drainage issues that have been repaired over at the park. And it looks fantastic, thanks to Kevin and all the guys at DPW. So we made an announcement for that. I went over and looked at it myself. It looks fantastic, all new mulch. Pluckerman Schoolhouse Playground Park, as you know, was removed. Neil Mastrobono had put up an A-frame sign with a picture of the new playground equipment that says coming soon. So everybody knows we are replacing. And on the other park front, Miller Lane Park Playground has been dug out. We are awaiting some filtered playground mulch over there. The play area perimeters have been rebuilt last week, and we're waiting on new swings, some rock climbing grips, as well as a slide repair. Kevin, do you have anything to add on that, onto my report?
No, I think you got everything. We will be replacing the border at Art Association once the playground's installed, prior to putting down the new mulch. But besides that, that's pretty much everything.
Great, thank you. So I
Great.
think people are gonna be really happy.
Great. Thank
That
you,
concludes
Kevin.
my
Thank you,
report.
Kevin. That's it.
That concludes my report, yes.
All right, good. Well, not good, that is. Report, but good that we're moving on. Discussion on ordinances for public hearings, none. Well, we do have one ordinance to introduce. That's ordinance number 2022-011. This ordinance authorizes the appropriation of $75,000 for sewer utility capital improvement projects for the sanitary sewer transmission system, SSTS, at the Miller Lane Pump Station, which serves the communities of Bedminster Township, the Borough of Far Hills, and the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone. If the ordinance is introduced, the public hearing will be scheduled for August 1, 2022 at 7:00 p.m. in these chambers. We have a motion to introduce ordinance number 2022-011.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
aye.
Ms. Fernandez.
Aye.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
The public hearing will be scheduled for August 1, 2022 at 7:00 p.m. We have no, once again, we have no public hearing of ordinances tonight. We have nothing on the consent agenda. We only have one resolution tonight, which is resolution 2022-081, authorizing the hiring of seasonal employees as special aides for the recreation department from August 1 through August 12, 2022. Ms. Ray.
Sure, I can explain that. From time to time, we have children with special needs that do require a special aid that's properly trained rather than just a camp counselor. And that's what this is for, children that will be attending. some program.
Any further questions or comments? Seeing none?
Just
Oh, go
a
ahead.
typo
Where? Go ahead.
under whereas, special ads instead of aids.
Thank you.
Actually, don't have that resolution.
It's under the red
First
hat.
paragraph.
Oh, no, nope. Nope, want mine?
Special ads.
Special ads. Renee, you're underpaid for the day.
Here you go. With the correction from Committeewoman Maressi, may we have motion to approve resolution 2022-081.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And may we have a motion to approve the bill list pending review of individual invoices.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call vote again, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
aye.
Ms. Fernandez.
Aye.
Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
Any items for discussion under new business? Okay, let's go through some of the old business. We covered COVID. I don't have those numbers tonight. DOT road improvements. We certainly, I think at the last meeting, if I didn't mention it, I'll mention it again, that DOT at our request went out and put some of the same arrows on the road surface that we see at the River Road jug handles. So those are now at Hills Drive. So you're on the roads. It's right in your face again, straight, left. Or if you're coming south, straight. Don't make your left into Kings from 202 without taking the junction. And don't make a U-turn, which we've all seen people do. So hopefully these signs, that they are one step of the process. This is something that we asked DOT to do when we were doing River Road, and we brought that to their attention, and they accommodated us. And we mentioned Hills Drive as well, and they've accommodated us. It may not be complete. We'll follow up with the chief to see if there are other improvements that are underway for DOT at that intersection. Utilities. Who wants to pick up utilities?
I can give a quick update on Altice, but it's going to sound a lot like the same, which is basically the homeowners associations are continuing their meetings and information exchanges with Altice. The good news is there are several that are in the home stretch where they're, in the process of finalizing contract language, looking at plot plans and construction designs are being reviewed and approved. So that's the good news. I anticipate these one-on-one meetings with the HOAs will continue throughout the summer and into the fall. One of the questions I continue to raise with Altice is, well, when are you going to get started in terms of digging? And the answer is, once a significant number of the HOAs have signed on and based on some of the physical plan associated with the fiber network, it's soon, but I'll keep pushing them to, as the more meetings we can get scheduled, the more HOAs we can get through the process, the better off we'll all be. So we'll keep pushing and hopefully the digging starts sooner rather than later.
Great.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. New Jersey American, I guess Doug, any updates on the paving of Ski Hill?
No updates on that at all. Quite frankly, when we had talked about it last, we were sort of pausing it to see what was going on with the gas, and I think that that's sort of been answered. So, the question that I have, take it up with Rod and companies. Do we want to go ahead and resurface that, thinking that the gas idea is, it's behind us. It's not going to happen, but then we also have the other consideration of, is there an opportunity to expand the sewer district there? So that's, still in play too. I don't want to resurface the road up there and then dig it all up. So.
And so what was maybe this is a question for both you and Gina, what was the final indication from PSE&G? Remember there was that number, and then your question was, is that a per household number or is that for the neighborhood number?
Yeah, Ms. Banks has not answered that question for me. But I will say, like I said previously in public, that I think for Ski Hill Drive, it's not going to happen. I don't know. I think there's more folks that are on the other loop, the old Stonehouse and the old Dutch, that it might make sense for there to be some sort of expansion of that service there. But I think for Ski Hill, it's just too small amount of people, too expensive. So I'm looking at it from the Ski Hill perspective that it's not going to happen. Okay. But
on Deer Haven, I had reached out to Tanya multiple times. And she did get back to me finally on July 9th, saying that she finally received all the information she needed to complete the last job, which is the Deer Haven Road. There's 11 households, and that she submitted the information to the Gas Technical Division for review and response. So they have 21 days, and then they'll give us a price, because Deer Haven never received a price or a quote for any of the work. So she just got back to me now. So it's been almost 10 months in November.
In October last year, we were trying to submit everything.
And it's July, so it's been like 9 months. But she finally got back to me. And New Jersey American Water did pave half of Deer Haven Road. So of course, the residents now are wondering when the other half is going to be paved. But they did come in and they finished the job in one day. So, and it looks very nice.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And that covers utilities. And Doug, I take it that you and John will come back to us. You'll report on Pluckman Park
When we're ready.
when you're ready. Yes. Okay. All right, with that, let's go to Township Committee comments. We do not have an executive session tonight. So we'll go through Township Committee comments and then we can adjourn for the night. Committeeman Stevenson.
My only comment is I wish Gina a speedy recovery. That's it.
Can I say likewise?
Yes, you can.
There you go. That's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Same here, Gina. I didn't even know you were laid up. Let me know.
Oh, yeah, just got out of surgery 2 hours ago.
You
No
are.
fun.
She
my
is.
friend. You are a
Shane, please note that.
cheat.
Committeewoman Fernandez,
From the
She
surgery.
gets brownie points for that one, man.
2 hours out of the surgery.
Mhm.
Nothing stops Gina.
All right, so next, Township Committee comments from you.
No, thank you, everybody, for the well wishes. I also hope I have a speedy recovery. Have a good night.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Gina, for participating tonight after the procedure. That's all I have. We will see you next in August. Wow.
Can't believe
So with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Bye.
Bye.
And good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Boom.